third year with the PFL. How big is that advantage of knowing what you're in for potentially with the schedule as you kick off this tournament with the company?
One, I'm grateful. It's cool to have like in a sense job security, right? You have to show up, you have to fight, do what you need to do, so you never get complacent. But I mean, it's cool to be back in Orlando where it started, and think that all the great things that have come. I'm looking forward to another great year ahead. Uh, yeah, in the Clinton title this year, it's like one fight at a time, and just excellent fighters. Glad there's a 185 division now. There's so many good positive things. I'm just looking forward, looking at each day, but looking forward to what the future has to hold.
You're one of the resident cowboys in the PFL. I'm a little disappointed I don't see your cowboy hat right now. Are you disappointed that the middleweights aren't going to be scheduled for Nashville in the second round?
Well, I have my cowboy hat with me. I'll definitely have it on fight day and after the victory, but I apologize. Um, I mean, Nashville would have been pretty cool, not gonna lie. But I'm grateful it's Chicago and Hollywood. I'm happy. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, so that one definitely hit home. But I mean, I would have loved to. I'd love to fight in Charlotte, but hey, title to title. I'll go back and visit.
Hey, that's awesome. So obviously going back to middleweight, I think some people would have said, "Are you looking for the rematch with Doublet?" But is it safe to say that perfect storyline would be getting through this and getting to run it back with Johnny Eblin for a belt again at the end of the year?
Yeah, you can look at it that way. I mean, Doublet for sure, man. That's another fight you always want back. Fight ended quickly. Good fighter, man. He's an excellent champion, good guy. So shout out to him. Always doing well this year. Um, the Johnny fight. I mean, if you talk about fighting in general, like one of the bigger premier fights in the world, that's a great fight to have. So run through the division, claim this title, fight Johnny again, and get win number two.
Finally, I'll leave you with a nice easy one. What do you think of Fabian Edwards' game and what he brings to the table as an opponent?
Yeah, Fabian Edwards, good fighter. Man, comes from a great team, smart team, good counter striker. Overall, good MMA game, right? I mean, you can see areas. Obviously, everybody has areas to improve, but he knows where he likes to put himself. Good patience, good timing, everything. So I'm looking forward to it. A great challenge ahead, and then when I claim this victory, we dominate and move forward.
Thank you.
Ricky.
Impa, you haven't let adversity define you in your past. You overcame the odds to win the 2023 season, moving up 20 pounds, coming off a loss. Now you're back at 185. How are you feeling about moving back down and competing at a more quote unquote normal weight class for you?
And I'm grateful. Did you see Devlet and hit me last year? I'm glad to be back in a weight class where it's more evenly matched on the power side. Uh, every weight class has an advantage, but man, whether it's 205 or 185, I trust my training, I trust myself, and I'll be champion either one. Who knows? I could go back to 205, but right now I'm glad to be back at 85 and do what I love. I can't eat Chick-fil-A throughout the week. I can't eat Reese's or have slushies or fried chicken. Dieter always yells at me about that or Cokes, but it's all part of it, and I'm grateful.
How does it feel kind of training in that 185 range versus that the 205 range as you prepare for this first fight?
It's the same. It's like I'm so used to it. I mean, for a long time I fought at 85, so get back to it. Obviously, fought Johnny at 85. I fought the rest of the year, so it wasn't that long ago. You'll see the best version of myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike.
But last year, your overall theme around the year was dominance, and that's how you were approaching every single fight and your mindset. What is that theme this year for you?
Peace, and I have a lot of peace. I know who I am. I have nothing to prove, and like I'm just gonna dominate. I'm still dominant. It's always been the same. It's just a continuation of like the mindset. You keep refining it, but it's really just like burn the ships, as you heard in the first year, dominate like I did last year. We had a pretty solid year last year, and then now I'm at peace because just like we've grown a lot, into like a life audit, and I'm looking forward to showing the best version of myself.
I know last year did not end the way you wanted it to, but you did so much, both, in your community and in your career. You just mentioned peace. So where are you at in this journey of your career and in your life? You've been a staple with the PFL. How do you come into 2025?
How do I what into 2025?
How are you coming into 2025 just with that piece and in this tournament?
Oh yeah, I'm grateful, man. I'm blessed to do what I love. I'm blessed that the PFL started at 85 division. It's like I love to fight, right? The thing is, to I fight, I don't have to fight. Like I just love it. Like I love to fight. I fight every weekend. It was like life doesn't feel normal until fights are back on. So I'm filled with gratitude. I'm dialed in. I'm locked in. We're training really well, and you'll see Friday. You'll see Friday. You'll see Friday.
Without giving too much attention to everyone else in the bracket, I do have to ask because you've been with the company for so long. You're mentioning how much gratitude you have. I know there's a lot of other fighters in this middleweight bracket who are probably sharing that same excitement. How do you feel this move to the tournament format and bringing in the middleweight division will be beneficial for the PFL moving forward?
Well, overall, if you look at the fighters at the middleweight division, they really are some of the elite fighters in the world. 85 is always an excellent weight class. You got knockout power, speed, athletes, um, a lot of good fighters, right? Different guys who've fought for the title in Bellator, different people who've been close to it, one fight away. So they have different experience at different levels. Now you put them all in the same pool, right? And the cream rises to the top.
Always a great time talking to you, and all the best this weekend.
Thank you.
Owen.
Yeah, hi mate. I hope you're good. I saw it on their Twitter, so I just had to ask because it interests me. You did some stuff with the US Marines. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, that was cool. So I went to Cherry Point, and that's in North Carolina. My great friend, brother Joe, he was stationed there for a little while, right, with the Second Lad Battalion, right, well, I don't mispronounce it, but they did some really cool stuff. And we gotta go, I gotta share, my life and spend some time in their life, which is really cool. Because sometimes you go and you just impart whatever wisdom, life, or experiences you had, but they gotta share with me what they do on the daily, what they do to defend our country. I'm just always grateful for anybody who serves in any branch. My sister, she's in the army, so they got to boo her. And I just had a lot of fun. The colonel there, he rides motorcycles too, so I plan to go back with him. As he's coming into I want to say his last days. I want to definitely go on a cool ride with him out there. They have a lot of cool projects coming up. They have a lot of um, development, right? Just to keep this nation safe. And it's crazy to talk to them how they make it so real because though I'm talking about fighting in a cage, they know they might never come back. And that really puts it into perspective for you. And it just lets you be a little bit more free, but it makes you also want to connect. And I challenge all fighters to go back and just anytime you can find a base in your area, Marines, Navy, you name it, Air Force, Army, go through all the branches, just say hello because they're doing it without asking thanks. They're doing it without knowing if they'll ever come back home. But when I got to spend time with them and like the gifts they gave me, the love that they gave me, it shows you how much bigger life is.
Good stuff, man. Yeah. I know you focused on the fight that's right in front of you, but Sadibou C did say that he'd be interested in a fight with you. Have any thoughts on that matchup at all?
Sadibou?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has an interest to fight everybody, right? I think focus on what you have in front of you. I I respect Sadibou. I respect this team. I fought my Hamlet, who's coached by the same coach. They all coach very well. I've cornered against Sadibou. So we've had different interactions, but he's always respectful. He's been talking throughout the fight week. All I know is that in August in Hollywood, you'll see my hands raised with the belt wrapped around my waist. So whether it's Sadibou, whether it's one of my best friends, Eric Jeffrey, whether it's whoever else is in that side of the bracket, I just got one job to do. First, dominate, claim victory. Universe Fabian Edwards, see who the next matchup is, dominate them, claim victory, move forward. And if it is Sadibou, it'd be an honor. I mean, he's an excellent African fighter. He's a respectful guy, and be an honor to fight him any day of the week.
Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Thank you.
Mills.
Hey, how's it going, Toshibo?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. It's MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. The reign that you're having in this promotion is definitely got to be one to take notice on. 8 wins, 5 finishes. Already got the belt once. Let's just talk about fighting for this promotion. It seems like you turned that page over and you turned it into like a finish mentality fighter type of approach with your game plan. Is that true, or is it just that it just happened to be the matchups that lined up in front of you?
Um, I think it's like a beautiful combination of all of it, right? You always want to finish your fights. Like, who doesn't want that? I mean, the other fighters in the room, like, anytime you can get like a finish, it's just like, yeah, you did that, right? Because I mean, be honest about fighting. It's like, why would you fight if you're not trying to kill somebody? Like, it's not like bad. I mean, they're gonna try to kill me. My goal is to kill them. Like, that's what it is. So if you leave it to decision, right, then you always wonder, like, you probably should have kept going longer or what. But when you get that finish, you know, there's nothing that that opponent could ever do to you. And there's like a satisfaction in that too. So when I get a finish in a fight, I'm grateful, but I think that's holding yourself to the highest standard. Right. Last year I never cared about the points. I never cared about the points. Obviously the point there are no points this year. It's just being the best version of yourself. Like the finish is almost like a bonus on top of the bonus. Because you know, right, you knock somebody out, you choke them out, they quit, whatever, they submitted. And I think that's the biggest honor you can give your opponent. That's the biggest honor they can give you. So you should always fight for the finish, but always still fight smart.
Got it. And then this matchup right here, fighters always like to give the other opponent a lot of respect in the cage. But with that being said, where's the weaknesses that you see on Fabian Edwards that you could expose him in this matchup?
I think that's an interesting question. It's actually a really good question. So it's like you can create the weaknesses in your opponent, like you're hunting them down, right? So I'll create different weaknesses throughout the fight for them. I see obviously different tendencies, you know, whether they fade or whether they do this, whatever, but every fighter's different. I think you should give, you know, like a shot to guys like John Jones and Khabib, right? Everybody has a strength until they fight that one. And you'll see on Friday.
All right, can't wait to see your fight, man.
Jonathan Ramadan, Five Bananas. How you doing, Cliff?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Great, doing great. Now, you mentioned Sadabu. There's also you, Mark, three fighters of African descent on this card. How proud does it make you to have that type of representation?
Oh man, it's an honor. So that's funny. Like when they ask you if you're gonna fight Sadabu, it's like I fight him, I fight him. You know, for me, it's like, look what you're doing for the continent. It was so cool when he went back to was it Senegal and brought the belt. That was like an honor. I'd love to go to Congo. Not as stable a situation right now, but you're doing it for something bigger than yourself, right? Like Mark being another Congolese fighter. I used to reach out to him way back in the day, just like give me advice, like what's going on, and to see him here, it's pretty cool. He's fought one of my teammates. I saw him at face off, you know, chirping. It's just funny to see it when it's live. But you're just proud, man. You're proud because like when one African fighter comes in, like Francis just came in before us and made a huge statement. Adesany's made a huge statement. You're part of that. You're part of that. And that to me is one of the biggest honors ever, right? Because you're just like, for the sacrifices my parents made to come to this country, all things they did in Congo, and then to see other fighters doing it, it's really cool.
Speaking of your parents in PFL Origins, your mom, she said it's, you know, you made parenting very easy, right? What is it like to hear that and just kind of do what you've done for your parents so far?
I got asked that question. Man. Oh God. So where do I start? My parents, they're so cool, right? So my dad, I hate you. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. I want to make them proud. I want to honor God, do my job, make them proud. My mom, why I love the PFL, right? So when I won the title, my mom was working 7 days a week, at least 6 to 7 days a week, right? So, and she would work at one hospital, go to the other, and she'd be gone all day. I wouldn't see her. When my brother was playing by AAU, so they could support him to play ball. You know, I'd pick her up after after football, pick her up in the morning at 5 a.m. and she would just be smiling. She's so funny. If you play rap music in the car, it's too loud. If you put worship music in the car, it couldn't be loud enough. But she made so many sacrifices, right? So you're just proud, right? So she was going to be a doctor. Family member passed away, so she decided to focus on nursing. My dad, he is the best man ever. He's a man that I want to be. He'll wake up in the morning, make sure my mom has her food, has all her scrubs ready. He won't let her touch the car. He drives her to work. He's like, if you're late for anything, my dad's like, all right, forget you, and he'll leave you where you are, go pick her up from work, make sure she's good, bring her favorite food. He shows a lot of love. So when you see that, like they raise the standard and it makes you want to fight harder. So to say that it make parenting easy, I'm grateful because I've done some stupid things too. So it's an honor. It's an honor. Like I have my brother and my sister. My brother's here. So proud of him. Excited. Won't be living with me for much longer. He's a great college basketball coach, so he'll be out of here. But my parents, every single sacrifice that they made, that's why we're here today. So whether I won a fight, lost a fight, I look at my mom. She laughs at me. She picks on me. My mom is she's so funny, right? Like people think like they think you can roast me on like the MMA pages. My mom has told me once. She goes, I was like talking trash to her back and forth. She said, "Don't make me call Buckley on you." Like, so when you have a mom like that, you're not worried at all about who you fight, right? And she always tells me, "Don't let him touch your face." So after a fight, you always see her grabbing my face, making sure I'm good, and she's actually upset. So I mean, it, you can't you can't replicate that because some people don't even have a relationship with their parents. After all that they've been through, all that they continue to go through, they still love us unconditionally. So for her to say that, that just makes you fight free.
Absolutely. Now, last one for me. You, Jason Jackson, Logan Storley, you got a whole crew over there training for the same goal. What's it like just having that all or the whole camp just training for that one goal here at the end of August?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I mean, you have Jason Jackson, Logan Storley, Aaron Jeffrey trains with us as well. So that's like one of my best friends, and like we could end up fighting each other. You're just grateful. You're just grateful to see like the gym can feel kind of slow and there no fights, and then all of a sudden it picks up and everybody's like on back-to-back schedules. Like Dieter was here was it 2 weeks ago when Jason and Logan fought. Logan and Jason fought, and then he's fighting now. You had other guys, so like the gym feels alive, and everybody's kind of like picking each other's brain on what it takes to be successful. I'm grateful that the most time and experience within the tournament, like success, moments of failure, so we can all pick each other's brains. So I'm proud of the guys. Thank you. Hello.
So earlier today we spoke with Fabian Edwards, and he said that he considers you, if not the toughest, one of the toughest guys in the tournament, and was happy to be facing what he considered the toughest guy earliest. Where do you rank Fabian Edwards in this tournament?
Oh, well, one, respect, and I think that's what it's about. So, Fabian, excellent opponent. Like you could just, it's cool to see like when you, like I said, you pray to be at this level, right? And I believe I am. I believe I am. I believe I'm the top fighter in this tournament. In August, I'll have the belt around my waist. That's what I believe, and I'm obviously focusing on that. But I don't look past anybody, right? It's 4 ounce gloves. It's a different strategy, but you come in here to claim victory. You shouldn't be here at all. Whether it's early in the tournament, middle, or the last fight, makes no difference, right? You have to show up when your name is called. But I definitely rank him as one of the top fighters in the tournament. You can't overlook anybody. I mean, it's like I don't want to sit here and start ranking people because it's disrespectful. Josh Silveira, he's a solid fighter. And if I see him again, your teammate, good guy, we just bumped into each other. We just started laughing. It's like, I'll see you. As long as he does his job versus Mike Shipman, I'll see him. So it's like, as I look forward to claiming this victory and I do that, it doesn't take away from Fabian, right? And I think he's still one of the more, not only just his organization, one of the premier fighters in the world, if you just watch the way he fights and where he's come from. So I'm not big on the rankings, so I'm sorry if it doesn't help too much, but I definitely say he's an excellent fighter, and it's an honor to fight him first.
This is the first year that you're fighting middleweight in the tournament. How has the weight cut been different, and how excited are you?
Well, I'm excited because when I first got to PFL, like it's such a cool story. So I was praying in the shower. I was like, God, I am done living in this farm. I just got really sick. I didn't think I was going to fight anymore. And I was just, my agent at the time called me and I was like, oh, cool, 205. He said, let's do it. He's like, it's 205, right? I was like, just let me fight. I asked PFL if they'd have an 85 division. They said last year they didn't, but look, it's here now. So there had to be something in the mix that it brought it all together at the right time. So to cutting weight again, it's part of it, right? I mean, yeah, like no Chick-fil-A, no Reese's, no Cokes, no fried chicken, like, and none of that, like Dieter's always yelling at me for. But you're grateful. It's like they say, like the suffering we face now is nothing compared to the glory that's to come. And that's how I look at it. It's like, it makes it feel real again though. It makes you feel like, okay, like we're fighting now. Like I look at the food. I mean, every bit of food looks good when you're cutting weight. And then like you make weight, you're like, oh, that doesn't look that good anymore. So I'm glad to be back at it. I'm glad that PFL brought 185 back, like a very, very excellent division to have. And to see multiple fights and different people, like makes fighting that much more exciting again.
With facing a talented striker like Fabian Edwards, how does reintroducing elbows back into the mix change this game plan and this camp for you?
Yeah. Oh, I love elbows. If you look at a lot of my fights when we're allowed to throw them, I like to throw them. But I also like that there's a chess match there. There's a challenge there where you have to respect the range. He's excellent at throwing elbows. He's sharp. You'll see. Like, but I'm sharp too, and that's what makes me excited. All right, so tune in Friday. I know you'll be there, but yeah. Remember the Chuck Liddell video? I do love elbows.
Still here with Combat Casuals. Now, you spoke a little bit about your love for competing and your love for fighting. Now, you've made the walk 10 times in the last 2 years. Looking at the possibility of putting another 3 fights behind you by August, what in your preparation has helped you most in being one of, if not the most active fighter in the sport right now?
You got a good voice, by the way. So for me, I remember when I didn't have any fights. So I'm grateful. Like I've been focused on my faith, focused on my life, and just kind of doing a re-audit. And it's like, why do you get to do this? You don't get to do it forever. And to go 10 fights this year, 14 fights in 3 years, 3 fights, like you said, by August, you're just glad because, man, it's a dark time when you don't have a fight. You're just like waiting and waiting. You're training, you're waiting. Maybe you get staph infection, maybe you get injured, and you're just like, gosh, God, at least let me go do something. So to do what I love, I'm so grateful. What do they say? It's like, I might say the quote wrong, but it's like the person who loves walking versus person who has to walk will go further or something like that. Something along those lines. Like I look at it like I love to fight, so that's what keeps carrying me through. I talked to Dieter, like, man, I could stop fighting, go be an accountant, do really well. I could do all that stuff, but I just love what I get to do. So every time I make that walk, I love it. I don't know if they can find the clip, but if you see my first fight on the Challenger Series, I always pray and I speak, but the first thing I said that came out before prayer was like, I love this. Right before I fought Osama El Saidi. I was waiting for a fight for the longest. People kept turning down fights. I was waiting to sign somewhere. And I finally got in there. So every time I fight, it's like I'm doing my passion, I'm doing my love, and you can't explain it any other way.
So much. Now, if you capture that world title here in this tournament, do you still plan on continuing that streak of another maybe 2 more fights and keep going with those 5 fights a year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I love to fight, so I mean, I think this year I'll get 4 fights. There'll be probably 1 less, unless they do another fight before the December card. But like I said, I look at it 1 fight at a time. When I claim the title in August, I'm gonna sit down, be like, I'm grateful, and then be asking, can we get back to work? So, yeah, because like I said, like this is not something you get to do forever. Whether it's 5 more years, whether it's 7 years, 10 years, whether it's 1 day. The fact that I get to keep doing it and I can do it at a high level and prove to be the best, it's always an honor. So I take those opportunities when they're there, capitalize on those opportunities, we move forward.
Last one for me. Looking ahead at some of the names on the other side of the bracket, is there maybe somebody in mind that you would be excited to stand across from in the finale?
Well, one, yeah, respect to any of those guys that make it there, right? Whether it's Aaron Jeffrey, Dalton Rasta, Sadabu, and I don't want to mispronounce the guy that Aaron Jeffrey's fighting, but I met them. Any one of those guys, they all have different challenges. Aaron Jeffrey's one of my best friends in the world. He's my brother. So they always say, like, the only person that loses when 2 brothers fight is your mom, right? So, and we'll throw down for sure. So I'd be honored. That's like my guy. They mentioned Sadabu, excellent fighter. It's always cool when you fight another champion. So that makes that matchup interesting because, I fought Johnny and they're like champions come at it a different way. So all those fighters there, they present different challenges, but it's also cool to see somebody you never saw before, right? Like Dalton or the other guy that's fighting AJ, like they all have their, so it's any one of them. I'd fight all 4 of them. Let's just do it. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we got one more question on Zoom. Shady.
Hi, Shady Shay with Combat Sports. Impa, pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. We often see you reference scripture on social media and saying a quick prayer in the cage, and even some of the questions of the past you've referenced your faith. Can you share a bit about the role of your faith plays in your fighting journey and how it might help you through the challenges of a tough training camp?
Yeah, so what, like if you look at the definition of faith in the Bible, Hebrews 11:1 says, "Faith is the evidencing thing of the things hoped for, and the confidence of things we do not see, the assurance of things we do not see." Like every fight camp, you're gonna have challenges, whether it's injuries, whether it's sickness, whether it's family, whether it's finance, you name it. But when you have faith, you can look past all that. You can just see that's all gonna work out. And for me, like MMA is my ministry. MMA is a dark world. Like it's built off of us just tearing each other down so much. That's why I don't like to talk trash about people. I'll fight you and we can go get food after. Like, or we can go to church after. It doesn't matter. To me, it's just like, why do you do this? If you're not going to use your platform to show Christ, to show love, talk about your failures. Like I've done some of the most dumb things in the world, and God still loved me. And I would hope to extend that because you hear about like athletes or people killing themselves, and we have a platform to, how do you say, we have a platform to maybe just let somebody pause for a little bit. But if every time you turn on fighting, you see somebody just cussing somebody out, talking about their mom, talking about their faith, talking about their loved ones, you never know what somebody's going through. So for me, faith keeps it in perspective. You can be a great warrior, you can be a great killer. If you could read through all the stories in the Bible, there are people who are killers. I'm inspired by them. But there are people who are great lovers too. And you should just love people the way Christ loved the church and that should be your standard. When you have that, it makes you fight fearless. When you have that, it makes you look at losses not as your validation, and it makes you look at your wins not as the only thing that defines you. It's how you treat the people around you, how you treat the people on your team, and how you look back at yourself in the hard moments and in the great moments. So faith for me is everything. I don't always represent Christ the best, right? It's like and that's the beautiful thing about it. He still loves you unconditionally. So that's why every time you see me and I get a camera, mic, and the ground's in your face, I'm like, hey, you're just unconditionally loved because maybe it was that one moment that person thought about ending their life, and whoever's been there would know. So you just want to see them to continue one more day. So, without
Absolutely.
faith, I wouldn't have this. I'm just blessed to be here.
Yeah, you seem to have a very calm and mellow demeanor ahead of your fights, despite fighting on the biggest of stages. So I'd imagine that your faith is a contributor to that. So I got a quick one for you. So everybody's asked you about the weight cut already. I just want to ask, what's the first meal that you're looking forward to afterwards?
Oh man, what? Uh, First meal. I haven't really thought that far yet, but maybe like a steak or something. Steak and pasta. Steak and pasta. It's always been pasta. When I used to cut to 85, a lot of it would be like meatballs, spaghetti and meatballs for sure. But I don't know why I'm feeling a steak right now.